So before starting the Florida Trail, what did you think of it? Did you hear people speaking highly of it?
Not really.
Not really.
Most people speak about it negatively, as in it's either something they would never do or something they have, didn't enjoy or heard that someone didn't enjoy.
So on this hike you went southbound.
Because it was your idea.
It was my idea. Interesting.
I hiked the Appalachian Trail in 2017 and the Arizona Trail last year.
I had hiked the Florida Trail once in the past. I really wanted to do it again. The last time I did it, I was setting a speed record or a fastest known time. So much of my experience was trying to hike more than 40 miles every single day, which meant I missed a little bit of it. It's my home trail. I'm from South Florida, and I really thought it was beautiful and worth doing twice.
It's a good day.
It's a good day. So today we start the Florida Trail. So we're coming up to the end of the beach section. It's been good. I think this trail follows 20 miles of just walking through really white sands that kind of squeaks underneath your feet a little bit. It's been fun. Now heading into the woods, into the forest, actually into an Air Force base, which has a lot of signs warning of unexploded ordnance or bombs. And when getting permits, she was telling us, oh, you don't want to be out there on so-and-so date. I think they're blowing stuff out there. It's oh, great. So, yeah, finishing up the beach. It's been a good time. I'm really excited to hike this trail again. It's fun remembering all the things from the past. The last time I was out here doing this, I could see myself doing this a third time or a fourth time, but maybe it's too early to say stuff like that. Eglin is kind of split up in two portions. I say Eglin East and Eglin West, but in the middle is a roadwalk, and it's really made a lot better because you go through the town of Crestview, and in Crestview are these awesome trail angels, Frosty and Flat Top. They're just so nice, so willing to help, and so happy to be a part of your journey on the Florida Trail. And we got to stay with them, and right after we left, maybe a week later, Flat Top was heading northbound on his very own Florida Trail through hike. This is it, the highest point on the Florida National Scenic Trail.
Didn't even notice the climb.
Because we've been climbing so steadily for so long. This trail is so well graded. I believe we're at 289 feet.
Very moderate switchbacks.
Very moderate switchbacks. The highest point. Eglin is probably one of the prettiest sections of the Florida Trail, I think.
It was one of my favorite parts of the trail. You have some nice hills, some elevation. You hit the highest point on the Florida Trail, and then you have these really pretty, clear creeks and bridges, lots of deer moss and little turkey oaks.
Towards the end, we saw this incredible phenomena where the swamps turn rainbow colors. It can only be seen in the winter, in clear blue skies, and when the sun is at like a certain angle in the sky. It just reflects off these swamp waters and turns them into like this rainbow. It's really amazing.
Were you worried about hiking together?
Yeah, I was concerned about hiking with someone else. I've done a lot of shorter hikes with other people, and it never seems to go well. I was definitely concerned about how this was going to work out. You know, it's hard spending that much time with someone else like you are on a long distance hike like this. I had someone to share this experience with. It wasn't just something that I saw and some experience that I had. It's an experience we shared together. You know, there's someone else that knows exactly what you're going through and exactly what you went through, and you know, I think that's a very special thing to share. Here goes out to the Econ Final section of the Florida Trail. Going through the Econ Final section for a second time was sobering in a lot of ways.
Econ Final was interesting because it was devastated because of Hurricane Michael. So all of the trees were downed and I've never seen such devastation, and just how much work the trail maintainers had done to clear the trail. But I just can't imagine how long it will take for those forests to look like normal forests again. And so it's cool to see just the power of nature.
I look forward to seeing it on future through hikes of the Florida Trail and see how it changes over the coming years. I'm sure for the better.
are you?
Bridge. Cool. After Econ Final, you enter Apalachicola National Forest, and at this point we're like pretty deep into the panhandle of Florida. You know, we're still heading east and we haven't quite turned south yet. Apalachicola is just south of Tallahassee, which is actually the state capital. It's a very large national forest. It's very expansive. It covers a lot of land, and the Florida Trail is through quite a section. You know, and it feels very remote. There's a lot of like dirt roads throughout and a lot of hunters, but it's still, you have this sense like, you know, if you have a problem, there's no cell service. You know, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. So entering in there is a little bit like nerve-wracking. You know, you enter one side and you have to get to the other side if, you know, you want cell service again and you want more food. You know, you can't just like easily escape. So last night it got down to 27 degrees. So today we enter Bradwell Bay Wilderness. Bradwell Bay is known as the hardest swamp on the Florida Trail. Most difficult swamp. I like to say it's got that dark magic. I've seen photos of people up to their necks in water, and actually the last time I went through it, it was totally dry, so it could go either way. I think it's not going to be so bad. You never know, and I guess we'll find out.
We were really excited for Bradwell Bay. Well, I was kind of nervous because I thought it would be like the first big test for me. A really like swampy area. It's supposed to be really deep with alligators and all of that, but it ended up being completely dry. Although that made it easier, it was kind of disappointing because we didn't get to go through that big test.
It's almost scary how dry this is. Yeah. Like we had gone through more swamp in just the past so many miles.
Mm-hmm. Why is it dry? I don't get it.
I'm still happy that we got to see it the way we did, you know, and maybe next time we'll get to go through while it's psycho mode. Oh my gosh, it is a freaking otter.
It's an otter.
It's staring right at us almost.
Come here, otter.
So cute.
Whoa, it's huge.
I told you, they're like 6 feet tall out here. Whoa, it swims fast. Oh my gosh. How does it swim so fast?
Whoa.
Billy Goat Day is an event every year celebrating Billy Goat's birthday. Billy Goat is a legendary hiker, you know, made a real impact in a lot of people's lives all over the country and in the hiking community. He celebrates his birthday in Florida every year. It's turned into like the trail days of the Florida Trail. There's really nothing like it when it comes to Florida hiking. You know, there is no single place where you're gonna run into this many experienced hikers in like one location. After Apalachicola is St. Mark's, and St. Mark's is interesting in the fact that you can't just like hike into it. There's this big river, the St. Mark's River, that separates you and the National Wildlife Refuge, and there's no bridge. What you're supposed to do is hitchhike. You're supposed to wait until a boat is floating down the river and wave them down, flag them down, stick out your thumb, whatever. And that was a really cool experience, you know, to have to like, you know, get a ride across this river. And you know, it's not just some guy in a canoe waiting there for you. You have to like kind of figure it out for yourself. What really stands out about St. Mark's is just the wildlife, the incredible amount of wildlife. We saw 35 alligators in that day. We saw just thousands and thousands of different species of birds, and just the wildlife in St. Mark's really blew us away. And I think for a long time, Lotus was saying that St. Mark's was actually her favorite section. There's no fresh water. In all of St. Mark's, there's no fresh water. It's all like salt marshes and salt water. So you have to, you know, when you're entering, you have to like pack 15 or 20 miles of fresh water to get through it. You know, and if you're camping, it's like that much harder. But we were able to camp at this campsite, and just like the sunset was phenomenal. You're like camped right next to this little pond, and then on the other side of you is another pond, and you're just on this like little patch of land in between the two, and like over there is like this big like wetlands, and you can just like see so far off into the distance. And you know, the sunset was amazing, the sunrise was amazing, and it was you know, probably my favorite campsite of the trail. So here's to St. Mark's. Really beautiful campsite last night, and an absolute ton of animals. That's us.